How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. First off, how about that number 5 ranking we got? Holy cow, I couldn't believe it. I know other Irish fans are saying the same thing I am, but I really did not see that coming. I couldn't believe it. And I'm not trying to show doubt in the Irish or anything like that, but I mean, I knew we would be top 10, but I just did not see number 5, being the first team, out of the playoffs. I didn't see it coming. And some of you are thinking right now, well, Sean, our only loss is to Clemson, who is currently the number 1 team in the playoff picture. We only lost to them by 2 at their place in horrible weather. Yeah, that's true, but in the past, selection committees haven't exactly been, how should I say, favorable of us. I tuned in to watch last night. I was just expecting them to, as it has in the past, find something wrong with what we've done as a team to this point. That's just how, in my opinion, it always seems to happen. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I will gladly take it. And you know what this means? With a win on Saturday, if we're able to do that, we officially control our own destiny from that point on. Clearly this committee thinks highly of us and thinks that we're doing something right to deserve the ranking that we got. So we got to make it happen ourselves on that field. So with that said, let's one other thing I want to say real quick, and then I'm going to just end it. All the crap with Brian Kelly and his assistant coach, I forget his first name, but Grimes, I believe. A lot of you people need to get over it. Okay? I mean, all this week I've heard stupid comments galore. Not from everybody. The majority of people get it. But there's a lot of people out there who are, saying that, Kelly should be fired, he should be arrested for assault. He was trying to prevent a 15-yard penalty, which an assistant coach has no business doing. Okay, getting up that close to the ref like that. So, yeah, Kelly had every right to do what he did. Maybe he did a little rough. But so what? The team is the number one thing in that situation. And also the people who are doing all the bitching and complaining, did you forget about guys, coaches like Bobby Knight or Woody Hayes, who actually punched a player? And granted, that was back in the 70s, but people are making a big deal out of Brian Kelly and this. And on top of that, you got Marcellus Wiley, go figure, playing the race card like I knew some people would. Let me just say this. Anyone who plays the race card, regardless of what color you are, you can kiss my ass and piss off for all I care. It's pathetic to even resort to that. So, bottom line, the whole thing with Brian Kelly is stupid. People are making way too big a deal out of it. Get over it. So with that said, on to this week's game. Now, we're coming off a pretty close one to Temple. Well, to tell you guys the truth, this week when we play the Pittsburgh Panthers, I expect this one to be close as well. So I'm just I'm preparing for it, and I'm telling you guys, you fellow Irish fans, the same thing. Prepare for a close encounter with cardiac arrest. I mean, Pittsburgh currently 6-2 on the season, solid football team. For as long as I can remember, this team has always given us fits. They always seem to play us in particular very tough. They always seem to know, regardless of who the head coach is, they always seem to know what defense to throw at us as well. This is the last time we played Pittsburgh. It was 2013. Lost that game by 7, and that was also the game, ironically enough, like last week, the game of the Stephon Tuitt BS targeting call. And last week against Temple, we had that happen with Elijah Shoemate. And the funny thing is, Shoemate's was even worse because the receiver was coming down on top of him. So how do you expect a guy to move in time? It's ridiculous. Stephon Tuitt, when he got his back in 2013, that was when the quarterback, I think it was Sinceri at the time, Tino Sinceri, he was sliding. Or no, he didn't slide. I take that back. He was trying to run. He puts his head down and runs into Tuitt. So how do you expect Tuitt to get under him that quickly? Stupid. The targeting nonsense is stupid, but I don't want to go on a rant. But very quickly for Pitt, hands down their key playmaker. Wide receiver Tyler Boyd, he's having a pretty solid season. Not as good as in past years, but he's doing enough to get Pitt to where they are as a 6-2 team. But Pittsburgh, they unfortunately didn't do us any favors last week by losing a close one to North Carolina, because they were ranked, I believe, at number 23 at that point, which is actually all these teams on our schedule, like Navy, Temple, and even Pittsburgh to a point, were helping us with with our strength of schedule, which I think that's what the committee was looking at. But that's just a little side note. But so anyway, Tyler Boyd, he's going to be a key player that the Irish have to stop. And with our pass coverage, we've got to step it up, because even though Boyd's not having the best season in the world, he can still turn on the jets and burn us if we're not careful. The second key player to watch, or actually I should say players to watch, is the whole Pitt defense. As I said at the start of the recap portion of this video, or the preview portion of this video, Pittsburgh has always thrown the right defense at us. They always seem to do that. That's why, and as a matter of fact, and it's shown, because we've struggled with them in recent years. They've always played us hard on defense. They throw the right kind of schemes at us, and we've had trouble with it at times. So our whole offense has got to get clicking. We've got to find a way to establish a run. We couldn't do that with last week against Temple. Temple was loading the box. I expect Pittsburgh to do the same thing. Procise, he couldn't get anything going. So we got to find a way to make that happen. But in addition to that, we can't make any silly mistakes either. I mean, I say this every video: no turnovers, protect the football. I mean, it hurt us against Clemson, and it could have hurt us last week too. Now, granted, one of those interceptions that Kaiser threw was deflected, but still, we can't turn the ball over. And on top of that, when we get in the red zone, we have got to come away with points. I don't care if it's a field goal. I mean, of course, we all would prefer the touchdown, but we got to come out of there with points when we're in the red zone. I mean, in my opinion, it's unacceptable if we leave the red zone with no points. So everyone's got to be clicking. Everyone's got to be doing their part. I would love for this game to be a blowout, but honestly, I just don't see that happening. So even though my preview for this game is very blunt and to the point, like most of my previews are, I think I covered the basics. So with that said, I see this game ending in the final score of Notre Dame 27, Pittsburgh 20. Like I said, all of us Irish fans, we got to be prepared for a close encounter with cardiac arrest. But I don't care. As I've said a million times before too, I don't care if a win is by 50 points or by 1. A win is a win. So, with that said, guys, that's all I have for you in this preview. This is ND Sean 45 signing off. God bless, and go Irish, baby. Beat Pittsburgh.